Welcome to the Vedic Mystics channel. Today's spotlight is on Elon Musk. Time magazine just released this cover photo showing Elon Musk as the acting president. Elon and his actions are headline news every day since Trump took over office on January 20th, 2025. For once, there is someone who is stealing Trump's thunder. So, how did an introverted, bookish person who was bullied as a child rise to such power? Elon Musk's success as an innovator and tech genius is not surprising. He has always been a brainiac with high ambitions. However, his recent transition into politics is surprising to many. Let us explore his Vedic chart to find an explanation. The screen shows Elon's Vedic chart. He was born on June 28, 1971 at 7:30 a.m. in Pretoria, South Africa. His chart shows a Gemini ascendant and Leo moon sign. The ascendant and Lagnesh are in Punarvasu Nakshatra and his moon is in Purva Falguni Nakshatra. Here is a quick overview of his chart and the strengths of each graha. Sun and Mercury are in his first house, Ketu is in his second house, Moon in the third, Jupiter in the sixth, Mars and Rahu in the eighth, and Venus and Saturn in the 12th. Sun and Saturn are ordinary, Moon is weak, Jupiter is retrograde, Mars is exalted, Venus and Mercury are in their own signs, and Mercury has Digbala as well. These make Mercury, Mars, and Venus the strongest grahas in his chart. Looking at the Lagna, Mercury, the lord of the Lagna, is in the Lagna, forming strong Bhadra Mahapurusha Yoga and Buddha Aditya Yogas. These repeat from the Surya Lagna as well. One of the unique features of this chart is that the ascendant degree and that of Mercury's is only 32 minutes apart. This means that Mercury will be in the first house with Digbala strength in all his divisional charts except D60. This further strengthens the Lagna and the Lagnesh. Next, we look at yogas in his chart. Not surprisingly, he has a ton of strong yogas. We already mentioned Bhadra Mahapurusha Yoga and Buddha Aditya Yoga. He also has Kesari, Pushkala, and Mahabhagya Yogas. From the moon sign, he has Malavya Mahapurusha Yoga and Amala Yoga. On the negative side, the chart has Papakartri Yoga around the ascendant formed by Saturn and Ketu and Kemadruma like yoga afflicting the moon. Continuing on, the chart has two strong Dharma Karmadipati yogas, including the mutual aspect of the ninth and 10th lords. A Dhana Yoga and a Daridra Yoga are also present in the chart. Musk has seen his fortunes rise and fall. Finally, Musk has two Viparita Raja Yogas formed by Mars, the sixth lord in the eighth house, and Saturn, the eighth lord in the 12th house. These will be critical in understanding his current rise to power. Now let us look at three characteristics that are attributed to Musk: a genius, a maverick, and someone who is ruthless. Genius is pretty self evident in his chart. Strong Mercury, as is Lagnesh, involved in strong yogas and with strength in all divisional charts, easily explains why he is a genius. Musk has benefited a lot from government subsidies to his companies. This comes from the involvement of Sun in the yogas associated with Mercury. His maverick tendencies are from the strengths of the trick lords, the 6th, 8th, and 12th lords, forming Viparita Raja Yogas in the trick houses. Mars, Rahu, and Ketu indicate aggressive, addictive, secretive, and maverick tendencies. Mars and Rahu are together in the 8th house of subterfuge, activating the 6th, 8th, and 12th houses. His ruthless nature comes from the Rahu Mars combination, combined with the weakness in Moon and Jupiter, making him less compassionate. Moon is isolated and dark in the sky. Jupiter, the Graha of Dharma, is in his 6th house of enemies and lawsuits. His second house is afflicted by Rahu, Ketu, Mars, and Saturn, and the second lord is in a negative house aspected by a natural malefic Mars. This afflicts his speech. The combination of Venus and Saturn presents conflicting indicators. On the positive side, they are the lords of the 5th and ninth houses. On the negative side, they are also the lords of the 12th and 8th houses. This combination aspects Jupiter, the lord of career and partnership. The Venus Saturn Jupiter combination is also in an undesirable 612 axis. Now that we have looked at the chart and explored some of his personality traits, let us get to the topic, his current rise to power. He is running his Rahu Mahadasha from 2012 to 2030. It makes sense for sudden rise to come in the Rahu Mahadasha. Rahu activates Mars, Saturn, and Moon, acting the most like Mars because it is the strongest in the group. Rahu indicates technology, which is what he used to become the richest man in the world. Rahu and Mars indicate aggression and a desire to upset the status quo. Moon in the third house of communications shows how he used a platform like Twitter to further his agenda. The current period is Venus Bhukti in Rahu Mahadasha. This activates the Rahu Ketu axis and the 612 axis, activating the Viparita Raja Yogas in his chart. Musk is now waging a war against the establishment, running a shadow government, leading a coup spearheaded by technocrats, and aggressively closing government agencies. These actions have basis in the themes of the 6, 8, 12 houses and the characteristics of Rahu and Mars. This period also, however, increases his enemies and invites lawsuits, which could result in losses and defamation. So, the $1,000,000 question is whether he will succeed. He has a strong chart, and the current 3-year period of Rahu Venus is favorable. However, the upcoming periods of Rahu Sun and Rahu Moon are unfavorable. Rahu and Sun are in a 6-8 combination from each other. Sun is 6 houses away from Rahu, and Rahu is 8 houses away from Sun. Similarly, Moon is 8 houses from Rahu, and Rahu is 6 houses from Moon. Rahu and the Sun and Moon have an inimical relationship as well. Generally, Rahu Mahadasha is known to have a rise and a fall. The higher you rise, the larger the fall. For Elon Musk, the Rahu Mahadasha has had a steady rise so far. Therefore, the momentum has to reverse. I would expect that to happen around May 2025, the midpoint of his Rahu Venus 3-year period. The transits in 2025 are also not favorable for a Leo Rashi. Saturn moves to the 8th house, bringing up Ashtama Shani for the next 2.5 years. This is normally associated with lots of hardships, including loss of name and fame. Rahu Ketu transit are also on his 1-7 axis, indicating challenges. Jupiter's transit into Gemini is positive. However, the transit into Cancer in October of 2025 is also negative. In conclusion, I feel the amazing run that Elon Musk has had so far in his Rahu Mahadasha is due for a correction. Elon Musk is a genius, and it may be best for him to stay away from politics and focus on technology. Thanks for watching this video. Please share your thoughts in the comments section.